Welcome guys to newnosolutions.com. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can read a file into a console application so you can later manipulate it. This is a common task that you're going to have to do in your first job whenever you start working as a junior developer. So let's get right to it. Let's create a brand new project. I'm going to use Visual Studio 2022, and you're going to want to search on this section here. You can just type in, console. And what you want to do is you want to pick a console app. I'm going to go with the C# one, click next, and I'm just going to leave the default name for now. Make sure you use .NET 6.0 for this if you want to follow along, because they made some changes to the project where they removed all the boilerplate code and make it really simple. So let's just create it. So got a really simple project here. It's a console app with just a program class. And if you run this program right now, it's just going to show hello world. Just test it, and it does. Okay. So first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a file. So I'm going to right click this. I'm going to say add new item actually. And I'm just going to create a JSON file. So I'm doing a search. I'm going to pick JSON file. And then for the name, I'm going to call this employees. And now we have an employees JSON file. So I'm actually going to copy the JSON file, directly into here so I don't waste your time. This is what it looks like. Basically, these square brackets indicate that we're starting an array. The squiggly brackets indicate that that's an object. And you'll see there's a comma in between each object. And so if you look at this is one object, this is the second object, and this is the third object. And when I say object, in this case, we're really talking about employees. You can see we have first name, last name, and email. For each employee has a first name, last name, and an email. So we have 3 employees here technically inside of this JSON file. We're just going to go ahead and save it. And then I'm also going to do something here. I'm going to go and click on the file, press F4, so I can go into properties, and I'm going to say copy to output directory. I'm going to say if newer. And I'm just going to save that. That way, when I do a build, this employee.json is going to be pushed down to the build folder. So let me show you. I'm going to just build a solution. And then I'm going to right click the solution and say open folder in File Explorer. I'm going to go into the bin folder here and debug .NET 6.0. In this is where the application was built. You see the employee JSON file is now in the build directory. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And I'll leave the employee JSON file open here for now. Go back into the program class. We're going to delete everything from it. And what we're going to do here is we want to open the employees.json file and load all the data into a variable, a string variable in particular. So to do that, we got to use the system.text namespace. There's something in there called class in there called file, and it has a method called readAllText. So let's just declare here a string variable. So we're going to say string. And we're going to call this employee JSON data. That's the variable name. And we're going to do a file dot readAllText. And the cool thing about Visual Studio 2022 is that it kind of predicts what you're going to do. So I'm just hit tab there, tab again. And then in here, what this actually requires, you can see here, the telesense, it's a path. Opens a text file, reads all the text, and it tells you what it does. Reads the text in the file, and then closes the file. So I'm going to in here put a string and a literal, and I'm literally going to put, if you don't put a complete path in here, it'll be relative to the build folder. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type employees.json like that. So it opens up our files. This is going to work because our employees.json file gets copied to the output folder. And now to validate that this is working, we're going to just do a console.writeLine. And again, Visual Studio is predicting what I'm going to type. So I'm just going to hit tab on here. And I'm literally going to do a console.readLine or read. You can just do read. It's fine. It's to pause the execution so that the console window doesn't close. And here I'm just going to run the application. And you can see the console application ran, it opened the file, and you can see the contents of the file are now shown here. And that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can take the contents of the JSON file and deserialize these objects into actual objects within C#. Thanks for watching.